President Joe Biden on Monday declared an emergency in California after a barrage of deadly winter storms has prompted widespread power outages and flooding since last week. Extreme downpours, high winds and flash floods have caused at least 12 fatalities in the past 10 days and created power outages for hundreds of thousands of homes and businesses across the state. National Weather Service forecasters have warned of a relentless parade of cyclones over the coming days that will exacerbate the risk of flooding in central and northern California. Round after round of heavy rain on saturated soils will produce considerable flood potential with rapid river rises, mudslides and burn scar flash floods or debris flows, NWS forecasters said in a bulletin. The president approved the emergency declaration for California during a visit in Mexico City for the North American Leaders Summit. California Governor Gavin Newsom on Sunday evening said he's in close contact with the White House to ensure the state has adequate aid. The president's emergency declaration authorizes the Department of Homeland Security and the Federal Emergency Management Agency to coordinate all disaster relief efforts and provide assistance for required emergency measures, the White House said in a statement. The declaration covers the counties of El Dorado, Los Angeles, Mariposa, Mendocino, Merced, Monterey, Napa, Placer, Riverside, Sacramento, San Bernardino, San Mateo, Santa Clara, Santa Cruz, Sonoma, Stanislaus and Ventura. As of Monday morning, more than 130,000 homes and businesses in California were still without power, according to data from PowerOutage.us. California has endured a series of atmospheric river storms, which are long, narrow streams in the atmosphere that transport most of the water vapor outside of the tropics and typically produce extreme rainfall and snowfall over short durations. The atmospheric river storms have overlapped with a low-pressure system often referred to as a bomb cyclone, a phenomenon that generally occurs when a cold air mass collides with a warm air mass. The upcoming storms are particularly concerning as the ground in California remains saturated and therefore more vulnerable to flooding and rapid runoff. The NWS said it anticipates heavy rainfall of up to 5 inches near California's coast and more than 6 feet of snow in the Sierra Nevada mountain range in the coming days.
The Earth's ozone layer is slowly recovering, UN report finds. The Earth's protective ozone layer is on track to recover within 4 decades, closing an ozone hole that was first noticed in the 1980s, a United Nations-backed panel of experts announced on Monday. The findings of the scientific assessment, which is published every 4 years, follow the landmark Montreal Protocol in 1987, which banned the production and consumption of chemicals that eat away at the planet's ozone layer. The ozone layer in the upper atmosphere protects the Earth from the sun's ultraviolet radiation, which is linked to skin cancer, eye cataracts, compromised immune systems and agricultural land damage. Scientists said the recovery is gradual and will take many years. If current policies remain in place, the ozone layer is expected to recover to 1980 levels, before the appearance of the ozone hole, by 2040, the report said, and will return to normal in the Arctic by 2045. Additionally, Antarctica could experience normal levels by 2066. Scientists and environmental groups have long lauded the global ban of ozone-depleting chemicals as one of the most critical environmental achievements to date, and it could set a precedent for broader regulation of climate-warming emissions. Ozone action sets a precedent for climate action, World Meteorological Organization Secretary-General Professor Petteri Taalas said in a statement. Our success in phasing out ozone-eating chemicals shows us what can and must be done, as a matter of urgency, to transition away from fossil fuels, reduce greenhouse gases and so limit temperature increase. Scientists said that global emissions of the banned chemical chlorofluorocarbon-11, or CFC-11, which was used as a refrigerant and in insulating foams, have declined since 2018 after increasing unexpectedly for several years. A large portion of the unexpected CFC-11 emissions originated from eastern China, the report said. The report also found that the ozone-depleting chemical chlorine declined 11.5% in the stratosphere since it peaked in 1993, while bromine declined 14.5% in the stratosphere since it peaked in 1999. Scientists also warned that efforts to artificially cool the Earth by injecting aerosols into the upper atmosphere to reflect sunlight could thin the ozone layer, and cautioned that further research into emerging technologies like geoengineering is necessary. Researchers with the World Meteorological Organization, the United Nations Environment Programme, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration and the European Commission contributed to the assessment.
GOP leaders scramble to secure vote for House Rules package. The House is expected to vote Monday evening on the rules package for the 118th Congress, in what will mark the first test of House Speaker Kevin McCarthy's slim Republican majority after he made key concessions to GOP hardliners to win the gavel. McCarthy's concessions to the hardliners frustrated some centrist House Republicans, and GOP leaders were racing Monday to alleviate those concerns. Sources told CNN that GOP leaders placed numerous calls and texts to Representative Nancy Mace of South Carolina, who said Sunday she was on the fence over the House Rules package. McCarthy's allies have been fanning the airwaves to try to clarify what is and isn't in the rules package, particularly as it relates to defense spending. Republican leadership is confident they will have the votes for the rules package. In order to flip the 20 GOP holdouts last week, McCarthy agreed to a number of concessions. That included returning the House rules so that one member can move for a vote to oust the Speaker. The California Republican agreed to expand the mandate of a new select committee investigating the weaponization of the federal government to include probing ongoing criminal investigations, setting up a showdown with the Biden administration and law enforcement agencies over their criminal probes, particularly those into former President Donald Trump. Texas Representative Tony Gonzalez was the first Republican to oppose the House rules on Friday. He said on Fox News Monday morning that he remained in "Oh, I'm against the rules for a couple different reasons. One is the cut in defense spending. I think that's an absolutely terrible idea. The other is the vacate the chair. I mean, I don't want to see us every 2 months be in lockdown," Gonzalez said. Mace had said on CBS Face the Nation on Sunday that she was on the fence about the rules package because she didn't support Face the Nation on Sunday that she was on the fence about the rules package because she didn't support a small number of people trying to get a deal done or deals done for themselves in private. Republicans expected to back the rules package are also coming to grips with the concessions that McCarthy had to make to secure the speakership. Representative David Joyce, a moderate Ohio Republican, told CNN that McCarthy should be concerned that a single member can force that vote of no confidence on the speakership. "I'm not the speaker. So it concerns Kevin more than it concerns me, but that just took it back the way it was originally. And I don't think that is going to change the way we do business around here," he said, adding it should only be used in the most extreme of circumstances. Asked if everyone agrees with that, Joyce told CNN, "Probably not." Representative Tom Cole, the chairman of the House Rules Committee, told CNN, "I'm willing to cut spending and we need to do that. I'm not willing to cut defense and that is half the discretionary budget." Republican allies of McCarthy have sought to push back on the notion they will cut defense spending, saying it's domestic spending that will be targeted. "There's going to be good conversations, there already has been, that you can't cut defense, right? It needs to go on a very predictable trajectory," said Representative Dan Crenshaw, a Texas Republican. "We have massively increased spending on the non-defense programs, because that's always the deal, right? There's plenty to work with there, in my opinion." House GOP leaders are planning to hold votes this week on a bevy of red meat messaging bills on taxes, abortion and energy, starting with Monday's vote to roll back the IRS funding increases. The bill is likely to pass the House on party lines but won't be taken up by the Democratic majority Senate. This story has been updated with additional information.